Welcome back, everybody. We're still down here on Florida's beautiful Gulf Coast. We're heading out to see if we can catch some sheep's head and mangrove snapper. We just had a killer tropical pineapple rice bowl at a local restaurant. We're gonna see if we can recreate that at home.
Sheep's head, delicious. One of my favorite fish to eat. Looks like we got mangrove snapper.
Back to Colorado, I have my sheep's head and mangrove snapper fillets. I'm gonna make a tropical salsa. If you haven't watched the last video, get back there and check it out. We did blackened fish tacos, so we're gonna make a very similar salsa with a little bit of a twist. First things first, we have us a big old pineapple. I'm gonna attempt to slice this thing straight down through the middle, right on the 50-yard line. I'm definitely not a professional at this. All we need to do is cut the center out and pull out that good pineapple meat, but you want to make sure you maintain structural integrity and you don't want your pineapple to collapse around you. You don't want the top to fall off. So I'm gonna make a rectangle, gonna go in there and essentially score this thing almost all the way to the bottom, but not quite all the way through. Gonna use my spoon, dig in there, pull out those chunks of pineapple. There might be a better way of doing this. I don't live in the tropics, but I want to make a bowl out of my pineapple, and this is the only way that I know how to do it. And you might need to get a couple pineapples if you're doing this, because if you're making 2 or 3 of these, you're going to need a few pineapples, and you need a little bit of extra pineapple so you can make your salsa. So I'll go ahead and we'll make some layers. This is going to end up being a chunky salsa, maybe something more like pico de gallo. Then we can go ahead and dice this just like we did with our salsa for our blackened fish tacos. Pineapple into my molcajete. This stuff is so good. I made a huge batch last time because we like to have this with chips and salsa. I think I'll do the same thing today. We'll make an extra large batch. So if you're gonna use the inside pieces that you ripped out, just make sure you pull out the core. You don't want that in your salsa. You just want the nice soft pieces of pineapple. Up next, you know it, red onion. Started working at Applebee's when I got out of college. This is 30 years ago, and had to make pico de gallo every day as a prep cook, and I was exposed to red onion, cilantro, and other things. Avocado. Didn't know what that was as a kid growing up. Red onion into the salsa. Next, we're gonna go with a red bell pepper. Serrano peppers. We used jalapeno on the salsa the other day. Same thing. We're gonna go ahead and slice them open. You can leave the seeds in if you want the spice. Otherwise, feel free to grab a spoon and pull the seeds out. Into the molcajete. Cilantro. It's wilting a little bit out here. Limes, these are really firm, so we're gonna go ahead and roll them, press them for a few seconds. A little bit of ground black pepper. Have to have some salt in there. Mix it up, and that's all we need. We don't need oil or vinegar, just the pineapple juice, the serranos. Oh man, the salt's gonna bring out the flavor. Meanwhile, I have some rice over here. We'll cut to some B-roll footage. This is a cup of basmati rice. It's what we had in the house. Mixed it up with about 1.5 cups of water, a little bit of the pineapple Sriracha Blackstone seasoning, and a little bit of fresh cilantro. It's in a Blackstone grease cup liner with foil. I have my sheep's head and mangrove snapper. I actually don't know which one is which. Just thaw these out, pat them dry. Want to make sure there's no extra moisture on the fish. This will help the oil and the seasoning to stick to it. We're gonna go in with some avocado oil, and any of these Blackstone tropical seasonings would work. The island stir fry would be great. The citrus garlic mojo. Oh, I think we're gonna go with the Blackstone pineapple Sriracha. Pineapple Sriracha is gonna set these things off. They're gonna taste so good. And just like I did in the previous video, we're gonna take advantage of that Blackstone Blackened steak seasoning. Flip, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Have my Blackstone Pro Series, pretty darn hot. It's almost on high. You know the routine with me. I always like to have a griddle that looks really nice. So today we have avocado oil, and I'll rub that into the entirety of the griddle plate. These are really, really thin fillets, so these are gonna cook really quick. You want to go really thin when it comes to fish. So maybe one of the old, really thin, basic Blackstone spatulas, or an old school Blackstone, or any brand fish spatula, really thin. Super thin. We're gonna go in for the flip. That's that gorgeous blackened color that we want. These couldn't possibly look any better, except for the one that I just broke. Gonna pick up my rice, come over here to the table. Gonna fill my pineapple bowl with that beautiful rice. Now I used basmati rice today. You might have jasmine on hand. Use whatever you have. You don't need to take a special trip to the store. Unless you don't have rice, then I guess you need to go to the store to get rice. Our fish is done. This took maybe 3 minutes. It's so thin. I'm gonna set this aside, grab those last 2 pieces onto my spatula. See, that's where that thin spatula comes in handy. And we're just gonna layer these on top of the pineapple. Obviously great with seafood, but you could also do this with chicken. So if you're a person that has to have chicken only, boom, have at it with chicken. Now our tropical pineapple salsa, I'm gonna put just a little strip right down the middle. You wanna be careful to make sure that whoever's eating this can see everything. You don't want to just fill this thing with salsa and then suddenly you can't see the rice, you can't see the fish. You want it to look pretty. I might put just a little bit up here on top, and maybe we'll just dump a little bit down here onto the plate as well. I think we'll finish that off with a dusting of the pineapple Sriracha. Just really nice. Look at that beautiful color contrast. I like to use cast iron platters. This is a Lodge cast iron platter, and Sriracha on top. The color contrast we need. Take a look at that. So much fun to go to Florida. I was loving it down there on the Gulf. Every bird, the water, vibrant colors. And that's what I tried to do with this dish today. I thought the brand new Blackstone fire pit available in the Walmart camping aisle would be the perfect backdrop. Fire, pineapple. So my goodness, I can't wait to get into this thing. I'm not gonna waste any time. I'm gonna get in there, I'm gonna grab a beautiful piece of that fish. This could be the sheep's head, or this could be the mangrove snapper. Captain Christian told me that both of them are his favorites, so let's give it a try. First thing I'm getting is that serrano. Woo! There's spice on there, serrano. There's that sweet spicy with the Sriracha. I'm getting the pineapple. The pineapple is so sweet and also spicy. Fish just cooked beautifully. That blackened technique, you gotta try it out with the blackened steak, and then maybe the pineapple Sriracha, the tropical seasoning of your choice. Wow. It is so good. I've always loved to go to seafood restaurants when I'm down in Florida or down in the Texas Gulf, because I don't live around that. I live in the Rocky Mountains, so this just, wow, it just took me to another place. Maybe I'm becoming a man of the islands. Shout out to Captain Christian. So good. This definitely takes me back to being on the Gulf. And if you want to get a Blackstone fire pit, maybe the 7-inch or the 15-inch, you can get those in the camping aisle at Walmart. There's a whole new line of camping products in the Walmart camping aisle. And of course, the Pro Series griddle that I use today, that's available in the Walmart Garden Center. So we'll get this recipe up at blackstoneproducts.com. Make sure you visit me on the Griddle More Tour this year. Information all over social media, all over Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all of the above. We're going to be across the country and having a good time on the Griddle More Tour. Thanks for watching, everybody. This is Todd. I'm saying praise the Lord and pass this, the tropical pineapple rice bowl.